Are you serious? Are you serious? John F. Kerry, the Secretary of State, is really becoming nothing but one big blunder. His aggressiveness to try to shove a peace covenant down the throat of Israel has done nothing but backfire. And it's done more than just backfire on a failing foreign policy of the Obama administration and leaves America looking as if we are dazed and confused. But it has cost the lives of probably 1,100 or more Palestinian people. And the last count I got, 56 Israeli soldiers and 3 citizens. And the war is raging on. Had he not pushed, then there would have been a whole lot less possibility of bringing this situation of a one-state solution or two-state solution to a climax, because time could have just continued to drift as soft negotiations could have worked on smaller details, prohibiting and prolonging the possibility of this situation. But we do know what the Bible says, that there would be wars and rumors of war. We do know nations would rise against nations. We also know the Bible says that Israel, in the book of Zechariah, that Jerusalem would become a cup of trembling and a burdensome stone unto all people. And the anti-Semitism that's starting to flow around the world. Just take a look at Turkey. Take a look at France. Take a look at all across the globe, the hatred toward the Israeli people because of what's happening now in the Gaza Strip. Well, look, Hamas is still firing rockets. 5 ceasefires, they never honored one. They didn't even honor their own ceasefires. So it's a constant situation developing, and the propaganda machines are in full throttle. Matter of fact, and the Israeli people have lost total confidence in John F. Kerry and Barack Obama. And that's why you're beginning to see Hillary Rodham Clinton distance herself from both Kerry and Obama and even embracing the Republican Party. Well, what this shows you what's happened is there's mass confusion in the world today, and Satan is the author of confusion. Now, Secretary of State John Kerry has made a significant mistake in how he's pursuing the Gaza ceasefire as well. And it's not surprising that he was upset both the Israelis and some of the moderate Palestinians. Kerry's error has been to put so much emphasis on achieving a quick halt to the bloodshed that he has solidified the role of Hamas. The irretractable, unpopular Islamic group of Hamas that leads Gaza, along with 2 hardline Islamic nations that are its key supporters, Qatar and Turkey. In the process, he has undercut not simply the Israelis, but also the Egyptians, even the Fatah movement, which are a bunch of terrorists themselves, that run the Palestinian Authority, all of which want to see an end to the Hamas rule in Gaza. Well, a wiser course, which Kerry rejected in his hunt for a quick diplomatic solution, would have been to negotiate the ceasefire through the Palestinian Authority. Because you can't negotiate with terrorists, John Kerry. As part of his future role, he could have negotiated with the Palestinian Authority as their future role of the government of Gaza. But Hamas agreed last April to bring the authority back to Gaza as part of a unity agreement with Fatah that is brokered by Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. Kerry has been motivated by 2 understandable short-term needs. First, he wants to stop the horrific slaughter in Gaza with its heavy loss. But remember now, it's Hamas that's using the Palestinian people as human shields. And he wants to stop, of course. This is a heavy toll, casualties, unfortunately, on the civilians, including women and children. Second, he seeks to fulfill the instructions of President Obama Well, what are those? Because the last I checked, he hasn't said anything about this. He's too busy talking about a new world order, a one world government. The old order's no longer holding, he said. He keeps talking about a global event in between fundraisers. So I don't know what direction he's giving John Kerry, if any. Obama wanted an immediate ceasefire and has become skeptical about solving the knotted Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Now, John Kerry's approach has ignited a firestorm in Israel, with commentators left and right accusing him of taking Hamas's side. I've been saying that for since he's been Secretary of State. The whole negotiations, he was trying to shove down Israel's throat. He said these words in Munich, Germany. He said Israel's too prosperous for peace. Do you remember? He told Israel, he said, you know what? If you're not willing to compromise, I know a lot of nations that are thinking about boycotting you. He kept talking about the occupiers. This guy's the furthest thing from supporting the American position of Israel as an ally as we've got. I mean, this guy's in dreamland. He's like, imagine all the people living in John Kerry's dreamland. I mean, it's ridiculous. The criticism is, some people would say, is unfair, that it's prompted a complaint Sunday from Obama on the telephone with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Kerry's mistake isn't any bias against Israel. I think it is. No, I know it is. But rather a bias in favor of executing a short-term deal. Both pride, the haughty John Kerry's pride, is what's come before the fall of Hamas. And trust me, Hamas is falling. Israel's not going to stop now, folks, till they completely eliminate Hamas. They're going to crush them. Whatever's little bits left to Hamas when they're done. I'm not talking about the Palestinian people, although the Palestinian people are going to pay the heaviest price of all. It's Hamas. It's Hamas that's going to be nothing left of it but a shell. But the rage in Turkey, the rage by the radical Islamic group like ISIS, the Muslim Brotherhood, the Hezbollah in Lebanon, and the Iranian regime, the old Persian Empire, the old Ottoman Empire are rising up now, and you're beginning to see, the Bible says, when the armies begin to compass Jerusalem, those things that are written shall be fulfilled. You know that you're in the days of vengeance. And folks, we're coming upon that. That is another end-time apocalyptic sign. Well, there's a whole lot more could be said, but I'm just going to say it in this way. John Kerry, would you please resign? Would you please resign? Here's a pen. You can even sign it with one of these Paul Begley Prophecy, Are You Serious pens. You go ahead. Just use. You can take my pen and resign now, because we're sick and tired of what you got to bring to the table. Seriously, we are sick and tired of what you're bringing to the table. I'm Pastor Begley. I'm not being mean. I'm just tired of incompetency and to the point now, negligible diplomacy. That's what we should call it. Negligible diplomacy coming out of Washington.